Thanks to those joining me live and to those that be joining me on archive. I'm being joined by Ashy Knuckles. This is a punch chance with Ashy Knuckles. Make sure you visit mandatory.defense.com. What's going on, Ashy?
Nothing much, man. Just back at it. Had a little quick vacation last week for the holidays.
Yeah,
Back
yeah.
on the grind. So,
Yeah, absolutely, man. Vacation time. You're gonna get back to work before Christmas, or you're off the whole month.
oh no, I'm back. I had a little vacation last week,
Got it.
but
That's
I'll have another one at the end of the month, so that'll be cool.
That's what it's all about right there. Make sure you guys throw a jab at that like button. Make sure that button does turn blue. And make sure you share the video if you like. And you can always go ahead and subscribe to the content. Let's start off right away here. 12 rounds, WBA Eliminator at heavyweight. Alexander Povetkin versus Michael Hunter. Alexander Povetkin is 35-2. 24 wins coming by way of knockout. That's a 65% KO ratio. He stands 6'2" with a 75-inch reach. He'll be facing Michael Hunter, who was 6'2", 79-inch and a half reach. He's 18-1, 12 KO, 63% KO ratio. His only loss is to Usyk. He was campaigning at cruiserweight. Now he's campaigning at heavyweight. This fight gives me a little bit of that old. I don't know if you remember, actually, the Marco Huck fight. When Marco Huck moved up to heavyweight and he gave
Yeah,
Povetkin hell. Because Povetkin's like that size where he could fight the big man, but cruiserweights could also move up and fight him.
yeah.
So this is an interesting fight. I'm kind of surprised Michael Hunter's already fighting in a eliminator, and also tougher opposition than Usyk has so far at heavyweight. So, what are your thoughts on this fight, and who do you think's gonna win?
Well, I'm not surprised that he's fighting an eliminator. I mean, he had one of those minor circuit titles in the WBA. This for a WBA eliminator, you said, or WBC?
WBA.
WBA, right. So, that doesn't guarantee you anything, but it's easier to get a higher rank when you have one of those titles or whatnot. So, you know, they got about 1,000 belts. I mean, I guess one of them got to mean something. Shit, but Michael Hunter is a good fighter, and if you listen to Hasim Rahman, the former undisputed heavyweight champion of the world or unified heavyweight champion of the world, you listen to him. He said Michael Hunter is the sleeper in the heavyweight division. Says he got great skills, and I agree with him. He can fight. You know what I'm saying? He's a bit of a small guy, a small heavyweight, like you alluded to. But when you weigh in over 200, man, you got to be respected in that ring, unless you punching like Chris Bird with the inside of your fist. But I think he should have maybe a few problems with Povetkin because he'll be in there with a substantially bigger guy, a guy who also has pretty good skills, a guy who has a lot of experience. But for the most part, I think Michael Hunter should be able to outbox Povetkin. Povetkin being 40 years old, Michael Hunter, I believe he just touched 30 years old, and he's on the way up, man. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna have to, be taught a lesson, because he got a lot of drive behind him. He has a lot of confidence in his ability, and he is at a level that he hadn't been at before, and he's ready to showcase what he can do. And I think this is the perfect opponent to do it. But you can't overlook Povetkin. He just got back on the scene by defeating Huey Fury. Um, and Povetkin wants to be back at the top, at least contender for one of those world titles. And a win over Michael Hunter will get him to that next step where he can maybe challenge for a world title. But I just don't see it happening. I think Michael Hunter is going to outbox him for the duration of the fight and position himself for a world title fight with the winner of Andy Ruiz and Anthony Joshua.
Well, they will position themselves now. What I'm wondering is, does Ruiz have both the Super WBA and the regular WBA?
I believe he has the super because he's a unified champ. So I guess that would free up the regular one. The last person I thought who had it was Luis Ortiz. So I don't know. It could be vacant. I can check Fight News real quick and see.
I'm
No,
not
they
sure. I just thought about that. I'm like, well, maybe this is for the regular because it doesn't say. It just says WBA Eliminator.
yeah. So it probably no title, no title on the line. Oh, it's Mahmoud Char. Mahmoud Char is the regular title holder.
Char. Is that the dude Vitaly beat up?
Man, don't get me the line.
Man, I didn't even know there was a regular WBA champion other than Andy Ruiz, bro. But who knows who's gonna fight? But either way, it's gonna if this will be a big win either way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I do believe Hunter will likely win this fight, even though Povetkin is coming off the Fury win. But I think Michael Hunter is just he's younger, he's hungrier. Um, he does have a little bit of a reach on Povetkin. Povetkin's feet are pretty fast for his size, but I think Michael Hunter's used to fighting guys who can move quick because he's coming for cruiserweight. So it's not going to be surprising to him the way Povetkin moves. So I do believe that Hunter will win this fight, but I mean I'm not going to be shocked if Povetkin wins, but he might clock the dude and knock him out. Who knows? But I got Michael Hunter winning this fight. And if Michael Hunter wins, what about a rematch with Usyk? You think they'll do it?
Oh yeah, why not? I know Eddie Hearn would probably make that fight. And it would be a better win for Usyk, being that Michael Hunter would have beaten another top heavyweight. And that'll make a win, Usyk win over him look even better. Like I can beat you at any weight. And it's not like he'll be fighting a blown up cruiser or whatever. Because Usyk himself was an undisputed champion at that weight, but Michael Hunter has fought a heavyweight like 6 or 7 times, so he should, I mean, he hadn't been there that long, but he's
Yeah.
fought there against 6 men. So, and this will be his 7th time, and all that goes out the window now. He's campaigning, so.
Well, we're definitely going to see about that. And you guys can catch that fight on the undercard of Ruiz Joshua. You're listening to a Punch Chance with Ashley Knuckles. Visit www.mandatorydefense.com. Okay, how's the website going so far, Ashley?
Ongoing, going good. Just got to stay on top of it. Because some weekends, man, is just loaded with fight cards, and it's hard to update them with all the outcomes and
Yeah.
yeah.
That's for sure. Boxing never stops moving, and there ain't no off season. Right?
Nah.
Definitely. What's up to E. Woodson in the house, man? All right. Always holding it down. Let me adjust this really quick. There we go. All right. So we got E. Woodson on here. Okay. We got Clifton Bronson saying salute to D-Style and Ashy Knuckles.
Well, good.
All right. David Gregory says, I made it. There we go. No Paul says salute. Kenneth Johnson, salute D-Style and Ashy Knuckles. What's going on? Okay, shout out to you guys. And David Gregory says, remember when Chris Burr was fighting Vladimir and you could hear his wife yelling at him?
Yeah, she played a very significant role in his career, man.
Yeah.
What was her name? Tracy Kelly, something like that. I forget.
I have no idea what her name is. But I know they came out on that show like Sports Science. They were testing out the theory of if it's true that women weaken the knees.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like they would do something like where he would have sex with her, and then the next day, like he would do a workout to see if it had a negative impact. I just don't think it works that way. You know what I mean? But whatever. Like he's like, I'll do it. All right. Shout out to Story B Man.
Was good.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So make sure you guys throw a jab at the like button, by the way. Actually, Dillian White's gonna be fighting. However you pronounce the dude's name, Morash Watch. Okay, however you pronounce it. Okay,
Yeah,
all right. This dude's big, bro. He's like six
yeah,
foot seven, 82-inch reach, but he only has like a 47% knockout ratio.
right.
Right. So we all know what time it is. So they want to put him in there with a tall dude. Maybe he'll knock him out, and they'll be like, "Oh, look, Dillian White, he looks good against guys that are 6'7". You know.
Yeah,
Now, first of all, I don't even think this dude should be fighting, but the actual, I mean, that's what this is, right? That's what it seems like to me.
right.
A setup fight.
Which could possibly be a setup fight for Wilder or the
Right.
other 6'7", 6'8" guy, which is Fury.
Right.
Just in case either one of the that particular fight don't happen. You never know. Fury's eye may not be ready, and Wilder may fight someone else. And if he fights someone else, that will leave the door open for Fury. But if Fury keeps fighting the Otto Wallens of the world or the Tom Schwartzes of the world, he may not even fight Dillian White. So I don't know. Let me stop, man. Um, yeah, I don't know how to pronounce the guy's name, but I know who he is. He is big, man, and he's not, like you said, he's not a puncher. But the dude scales in from 260 to 280, depending on the fight. So he's a big man. And when I saw a picture of Dillian White earlier today, I guess he was doing an open workout. I imagine it's in Saudi Arabia. He looked bigger than his normal fighting weight. And now I know why. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't know who he was fighting. So he's trying to compensate for being a substantially smaller guy in the ring with this giant. Um, but that doesn't mean he can't be stretched. Any heavyweight can be knocked out. He's a big old dude, like I said before. So over the course of a fight, a sturdy shot from a guy that size can put you down. He's just not known as a puncher. But he will come after Dillian White at least early. I can't say he will provide a stern test because I've seen him defeated. He fought Big Baby Miller and he was stopped. Spilka beat him. Several other guys beat him. So this is basically either a showcase or a stay busy fight or both. But like you said before, man, he shouldn't even be in the ring because where that damn B sample at? Goddamn cheater. You know what I'm saying? Where the B sample. So, but Eddie Hearn doing what he do, going to bat for his fighters. You know what I'm saying? And Dillian White gets to continue fighting. I guess he don't want to be a cook no more. I know he was doing a cooking show.
What? Yeah.
Oh, you didn't see? You didn't see that? Yeah, bro.
First time I hear that.
Yeah, bro. Dillian White was trying to be a chef, bro.
Well, let me tell you something, man. Okay. Dillian White, I mean, the B sample is just the cherry on top. You know what I mean? But the gloves, I can't get over the gloves, bro.
Right.
Like I can't. Nowhere in the U.S. would any commission allow what happened. It just wouldn't happen. I don't care. Not even a Floyd Mayweather would get away with that. And that's not an exaggeration. Like if Mayweather all of a sudden said, "Well, I'm gonna wear some other gloves, not the ones we inspected yesterday,"
Mm-hmm.
it ain't gonna happen, bro. Like it's just not. So the fact that this dude got to wear some gloves that were not inspected, not weighed, and Rivas' team did not see the wrapping
Right.
is astonishing.
Yeah.
Like I still can't believe it happened.
It happened.
I keep thinking like there's something that's missing in the story because it's not adding up. That's how bad it is, but that's what happened. What do you make of Rivas' team still going along with the fight? Like, how bad did this dude need the money?
Hey, man, training camp ain't cheap. If you bringing guys in to spar, sparring partners cost money. You know what I'm saying? If you just got a home gym and you got guys that train there and y'all spar together and y'all come up together, that's different. But when you're a heavyweight and you're going for a heavyweight championship, you're trying to bring in the best sparring you can get for the outing. Now, I'm not saying he has an elite camp like most top notch fighters. I don't believe him to have been at that level yet, but heavyweight money is a bit different from all the other divisions. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
know. Um, but yeah, he probably did need the money. Boxing is not a sport where all fighters are rich, and outside of the high profile promoters that we all know, most fighters really ain't getting bread like that. So they do need the money, I'm sure. So yeah, they could have if I was them, I would have did the approach um where I forget the name of the guy that represented Victor Ortiz, but you pull out of the fight and then you try to do some last minute negotiations and possibly get um a substantially larger purse than the one you were going to get previously, and you make it work to your benefit. But overall, whatever happened in the ring is what was going to happen regardless. And it is what it is. The fight happened. Everybody got out of the ring safe. No one terminally ill. So
Right.
you move on, I guess, man.
Shout out to G Funky 84, Stormy B Man, David Gregory, Jupiter B in the house. Nelson Santos says salute to the dragon. All right, and Jupiter B says I agree. They saw the gloves was just as bad, if not worse, than the Peds.
Yep.
Apparently, they asked to see the gloves after, and they still refuse. That is like there was something up with those gloves. Like I am 99. Like I can't be 100% sure, but I'm about 98% sure. Like
Yeah.
something was up. Because you know how they have the spare gloves. He didn't even wear the spare gloves because the colors weren't good. Like the colors didn't go with the outfit. Apparently, that was the excuse. You got to be shitting me. Smash the like button, says Nelson Santos. David Gregory. I bet you if they would have said if you don't take off the gloves, for fighting, something would have happened. Who knows what would have happened? Maybe
Yeah.
the fight doesn't happen, bro. Okay. Good conversation, says Boy Fitness. What's going on, bro?
Well, fitness was good.
Yeah, what's going on? And of course, the celebrity. Boxing Conversation, Reggie Owens. Of course, it's on here. What's going on, Reggie?
What's good?
I still can't believe this fight's happening because Dylan White's in the card, but it isn't. If it's going to happen, it should be in Saudi Arabia, right? Like G Funk said, I mean, that's a country where they have a sword on the flag. Okay.
Yeah.
They ain't worried about no wraps in the gloves. These dudes got swords in their flag, bro.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we will see what happens with that. I'm not going to lie to you, Ashley. I hope Watch knocks this dude's clock off.
Yeah.
Like I'll be the biggest watch. Like what time it is? It's watch time.
Yeah.
All right. That's what I'll say, man.
Yeah.
I want Watson. It ain't going to happen, but I want him to knock this dude's clock off. That's what I want.
Anything can happen, man.
Yeah, definitely.
It is
like you said, this is the heavyweight division. I don't have his weight on here, but this 6'7". He's probably like 250 pounds, or
you talking about what?
Yeah.
Well, he scales from the high 250s to 280.
Yeah.
Depending on the fight.
If he lands clean, that's a big dude.
That's a big man,
So what time is it? Watch time. Okay. Knock this dude out. Like I don't know who this dude is, but okay, I've just seen him get knocked out. That's all I've seen. Okay, so now it's his turn. All right, but we'll see how that looks. But that's that. The big fight: Andy Ruiz versus Anthony Joshua. All right. Now, Andy Ruiz, as we know, was a big underdog in the first fight, like 6-1, something like that. Comes in, beats Joshua. There's been a lot of debate and discussion, Ashley, on how he lost that fight. Like, did he quit? Was the will beaten out of him, or was he just like out of it? Didn't know where he was, and whatever. Where do you stand in all that? Like, and do you think it matters in the rematch?
Wow. Um, I mean, I I did initially say I thought he quit. You know what I'm saying? I think Andy Ruiz beat the fight out of him, and you can tell a lot about body language. You know, that man was defeated mentally and physically. You know, he did not want to be in the ring anymore. He did not want to continue, and he did not believe that he could find what that dog in him and pull it out in order to turn that fight around and retain his titles. And the reason why I feel that way is because when the fight was stopped, he didn't get irate. He wasn't mad at the referee. You know what I'm saying? He didn't start barking at him and saying, I got a chance. I'm upright. I'm on my feet. Referee stopped the fight and he was like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? New, So, I
Yep.
mean, it's a lot to say a man quit because I've seen fighters quit before. It's not a good look. He did fight his heart out. And, unfortunately, his best wasn't good enough on that night because Big Andy, he wasn't going to be denied. He was put down early. He weathered the storm. He got up and he brought the fight to the champion, and he took that title from the champion and became the first heavyweight champion of Mexican descent. When the boxing world, whether you're a hardcore fan or a casual fan, neither of the two believed he would do that on that night in New York on that stage. This was supposed to be a typical Anthony Joshua title defense because of the fact that Gerald Miller tested dirty. Joshua was supposed to walk right through this guy and go on to something bigger and better as we all await the Wilder versus Joshua fight.
Yep.
But Andy Ruiz, he saw the opportunity to stamp his name in history, and he did what he had to do. But regardless if he quit or not, does it matter going into the rematch? Yes, man, it does matter. He was
Okay.
stopped. You know what I'm saying? He was stopped. He was confused. He had nothing, nothing to offer. He ran out of ideas. It ain't like he was on the ground concussed. You know what I'm saying? He was just beaten by the better guy on that night. So uh, there's a mental job that needs to happen. We already see that the physical job is taking place. He went to camp. He looks lean. He looks strong. He looking good. Anthony Joshua, I'm talking about. But mentally, where is he? I think we'll find out.
Look, I think it matters because, like, if there's one person that knows for sure, like, if there's one guy that knows for sure whether he quit or not, it's Anthony Joshua, right?
Right.
Regardless of what we all think, right? Like, if he knows I didn't quit, I wasn't all there, it could make a difference because, look, it's hard to come back from quitting against somebody. You know what I mean? But if you really weren't all there and you lasted a couple more rounds against this guy, then maybe you're going to do better in the rematch, if you're not, caught like that again.
Yeah.
But I saw the face off that they had, and and Andy just told him to his face, bro, like, yeah, I think you quit.
Yeah.
And Joshua had a face on him, and a lot of people said, "Oh, you wanted to cry, you could make whatever you want out of his expression.
Yeah.
We just don't know what's in his head. Like,
Right.
if he's thinking like, you're a fool if you think I quit, because
Right.
if he knows he didn't quit, you know what I mean. But if he knows he quit, and this man's telling you that, like, he knows, he's in trouble, bro. Like he's in big trouble. But here's the thing: before we actually get to the fight itself, in that fight, um, I'm not sure if you had a chance to see the corners, you know, and there's a time where Josh was sitting there in his stool, and he's asking his trainer, "What is he gonna do? What should I look out for?" Like, confused,
Right.
like, not like in the middle of the fight, like kind of wondering, like, what I do, coach? This is the world champion
Yeah.
asking, "What do I do?" And McCracken had no answers, bro.
Right. That's more telling to me than anything.
Yeah, I mean, I think Emmanuel Stewart would have been like, with confidence, he would have told him, just jab him, do this, whatever it is. He would have
Right.
told him, like, you could do this, you know, and
Immediately.
immediately, no hesitation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think, and McCracken tells a dude like in the after the sixth round, stop giving up your height when you throw the jab to the body
Yeah.
after 6 rounds. You know, so I don't know, man. That is concerning to me. If you're if in any way you want Joshua to win, you know what I mean? Because I hope they figured that out in camp.
Right.
You know, but I don't know if they can figure it out, bro. You know,
I'm not sure either. um, it's more telling that the coach could not provide an answer more so than the fighter asking that question. It's a reason why I say that. Joshua's getting hit in his head. You know what I'm saying?
yep.
So while he got cobwebs in his shit and he trying to figure out, all right, coach, what did I get hit with? That's your team watching everything. Your team's supposed to be telling
Yep.
you what you got hit with, what you doing wrong, hey, you dropping your left, or like he said, you giving up your height, you fighting small by going to his body or whatever, you're not using your dimensions. The mere fact that he had no answer for him let me know either two things: the fight was too big for him, the magnitude of the event was too much for him, and the adversity within that fight, or the guy's just not good. You know what I'm saying? He's just not a good trainer at all. What people make out of that, I don't know, but I'm just saying it's not out of the realm of possibility. I mean, it's not out of the realm of boxing that a fighter asks his cornerman, "What do I do next?" or "What did he hit me with?" or whatever. Especially when their fighter is getting mixed up. You know what I'm saying? When he's getting hit with shots. So, because I mean, you get like I said, you getting hit in the head. You know what I'm saying?
And you don't know where it's coming from. you
Right.
know,
I got a friend who was an amateur fighter.
yep.
Right. This dude sometimes in the grocery store, he got to take a knee from the effects of boxing when he was an amateur. It's like all of a sudden, ooh, hold up, woozy. He'll take a knee and shit and collect himself. Well, boxing, you don't play boxing. We all know the adage or whatever. It's for real. So, when you're getting hit in your head, you know, and you're still fighting, like I said, when the fighter asks his cornerman, they're supposed to have that answer for him. So,
Yeah, I just that was very surprising. And then when Lennox Lewis came out and said, "Look, I mean, I think it's time," because he it's not like he was just armchair quarterbacking. I mean, he basically said about himself, like I had to move up in levels of trainer, and once a trainer couldn't teach me anything, I moved on. You know, until he got to the great Emmanuel Stewart,
mhm.
and I just think that I don't know, McCracken was not providing any useful information, right?
Yeah.
The only thing he said that I agreed with was stop throwing a jab to the body after the 6th round, because that just doesn't work with Ruiz.
Mhm.
It's not. Maybe with other fighters it works. You know what I mean? Because I understand why he's doing it. He's trying to open the dude up.
Mhm.
But to be honest, a jab to the body didn't do anything to Ruiz.
Right.
It worked against Povetkin. If you watch that fight, he was throwing a jab to the body, open Povetkin up a little bit. But I think that if there's something Joshua has to do without a shadow of a doubt, okay, is make this a boring ass fight. Okay, and people might hate him for it. Okay, what would you rather do? Be a victim again, or get your hand raised? What do you want? What do you want? Because all those people are going to say, "Oh, that fight was boring." Okay,
Yeah.
are the same people going to shit on you for losing? So, just go out there and do what you got to do, bro.
Right.
But
You're the victor.
does he have it in him to jab, hold, and stay on the outside the whole fight, Ashley? Because that's just not the way he fights.
That's not the way he fights, but it's all about if you have the ability to follow a blueprint. And if that's the blueprint, and Andy Ruiz cooperates, you know what I'm saying? Like not rushing in and stuff like that, closing the distance on him real quick, or Joshua is moving enough to get away from Ruiz when he closes the distance, he can pull it off. I don't know if he can do that, but at this level, he should be able to. He has the height, he has the reach. All you got to do is go in there and walk it out. But obviously, it's something that Ruiz does in the ring that gets him out of his comfort zone because he was beating Ruiz the first time. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, man. I think he should be able to outbox Ruiz if he got it together. But what happens when Ruiz start getting to him? There's no such thing as going 12 rounds and not getting hit at all. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
mean, when Mayweather got hit. He didn't get hit often, but he got hit. You know what I'm
Man,
saying?
his defense was amazing. He only
And
got hit with 25%. What's
yeah,
25%?
that's right. He still took punches. So, and this is the heavyweight. So, and if he punches him, what type of effects will it happen? Will he start fighting out of character? All these things come into play when like what Mike Tyson say. Everybody's got a game
Well,
plan till they get hit. That's it. So
absolutely. We got Max Hill in the house saying, D Style, did you have a good turkey dinner? I did. I think I gained like 10 pounds, probably. I don't
yeah.
know. I had whatever that dude that missed weight had. All right. That's what I had. All right. But Dave Gray, I think the cost, I think at all costs, Eddie's going to try and make sure his investment leaves with those belts. Man, that's a scary truth. AJ Tena, I would rather win a boring fight than lose an entertaining war. What do you think of that? Because a lot of the new media, or the old media, I should say, likes to say, oh, you're not a loser if you go out there and give us an exciting fight.
Uh, it depends, man, because
Yeah,
Israel Vasquez and Rafael Marquez gave us 4 entertaining fights, but after that tetralogy or trilogy, whatever the hell the
yeah,
fourth called, where is haplotype when you need him? After that
yeah.
fight, neither one of them had anything to offer anymore. So wars pay. Do a lot of wear and tear on the body. You know what I'm saying? Fight smart, last longer.
Absolutely. Jupiter B says he looked dazed as hell in that corner. AJ Tense, he can master everything in one camp, but he can improve one area of his game. I get it, right? There are no timeouts in boxing. You could say that again. I mean,
Unless
you can you can get a timeout. It's going to cost you a point. It's called a knee. You know what I mean? But you can only take so many of those. All right, Teresa D says, salute. AJ 10, Andy Ruiz was basically laid back and smiling. Yeah, he quit. Okay, and I said, jab that like button. Okay, make sure that the like button turns blue. We're at 22 likes. Let's get to 30 likes by the end of this show. I believe in you guys. Okay, utilize the jab, right? The jab sits everything up, and I think the jab is going to be the key to victory, in my opinion, for Andy, for both guys, for any fighter actually, but for Joshua especially in this fight. He needs to establish a jab, use his distance, use those archers from long distance, which he did not successfully do. He would hit Ruiz with an amazing 1-2 ish or a hook that you just saw like sweat fly out of Ruiz's head, and then he just stood there, like what, like admiring his work or something.
right.
And Ruiz just came back and bah! Like whoa. So, and he kept doing it. Like even in the last round where he got stopped, he landed some hellacious shots on Ruiz.
Mm-hmm.
Ruiz kept coming, but at the same time, he stayed there. So if you were, in Joshua's corner, what would you tell Joshua, just in general, to do in this fight?
Stick and move. Keep your hands up. Stick and move. Keep your hands up. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Don't admire your work and don't hit the guy and think, well, you're supposed to drop down. Why aren't you on the ground? Why isn't the ref counting? You know, Panchito Bajado used to do that. Remember Panchito Bajado?
Yeah, Olympian out of Mexico. Yeah.
Yeah, he was very talented prospect, man. But he had got to the point where he would admire his work. Like, why aren't you dropping dead until he started losing fights and boom, he fell off the scene. No, this is boxing, man. And you can't measure a man based on his looks.
Yeah.
Like we talked about plenty of times, man. Andy Ruiz is not a bodybuilder. He doesn't have that type of physique. But bodybuilding and boxing are two separate sports, should be respected as such.
Yeah.
Um, we saw what type of heart Ruiz has. No, don't expect the guy to take your Sunday punch and just lay down. Stick and move and keep your damn hands up, man. And chin tucked.
Chin tucked. And again, utilize the jab to keep him at bay. I would personally not even throw the jab to the body. Some may disagree with that, but what do you think about him throwing the jab to the body?
First of all, a jab to the body is a dangerous punch to throw anyway because it's easy to counter it. We
Yeah.
become so accustomed to seeing Mayweather do it and get away with it for years that everybody feels that you should do it, and it's something that you should be able to do and get away with it. But it don't always work like that. You know what I'm saying? There's a time and a place to throw body shots, just like it's a time and a place to throw uppercuts. You can't just throw uppercuts from out far. That's another dangerous punch. You get the fuck knocked out of you. Throwing uppercuts when that punch does not present itself. So there's other ways to get your body shots in, man. You start off with ones and twos, and then when you're able to bring that three around, touch that body. But just ducking down and just exposing yourself just to throw a jab to the body. I mean, if you do it, don't become jab happy when throwing body shots.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Save some time to
Yeah, because like
throw
my
those.
thing is,
Go ahead.
well, I was going to ask you because one of the deadliest punches that Joshua has is his uppercut. Okay,
All right.
that dude's uppercut is a shit. But Ruiz never put himself in place for. He almost told him, "You're going to beat me without this uppercut." And not only that, he's like too short for Joshua. So it's kind of. Is there anything Joshua, in your opinion, can do to open Ruiz to that uppercut, or is it stylistically not going to be a thing?
You broke up at the end. What did you say at the end?
All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think he can do to utilize his uppercut in this fight? Because the uppercut was gone in the first fight. There was never really an opening for him to use it against Andy Ruiz. You know what I mean?
It was there. It was there. He just when it was there to use, he was getting hit because he
Yeah.
could catch Ruiz when Ruiz closes the distance on him. Because, like you said, he's short, but Ruiz got those fast hands, and those punches was getting there. You know what I'm saying? Because Ruiz throws a lot of straight shots. You know what I'm saying? But if he can block at least one or two of those before throwing that uppercut, he can find some success. But can he do it? Is he skillful enough to parry two shots and come with an uppercut? We'll just have to find out.
I just feel like he was wasting his time throwing the jab to the body. First of all, he was giving up his height.
Right.
He had to bend his knee. Like, I'm not even exaggerating, guys. 90 degrees, okay, to land an uppercut. That's crazy. I'm sorry, the jab to the body. If he throws a jab upstairs and Ruiz has to kind of duck low, you know, the uppercut's going to get open. You know what I mean? Like, and to me, he has to set it up with a jab, but he was wasting time throwing a jab to the body, and it's like it worked with Povetkin, so it's got to work with Ruiz. Like, nah, it doesn't work that way. You know what I mean? Right. And would it work against Povetkin again? Who knows? Povetkin caught him a few times, But I do agree with you. He can land an uppercut, and I thought his key to success in the first fight was going to be the uppercut.
Mm-hmm.
And I was surprised the uppercut was nowhere to be found. Okay, like uppercut. Shit, that thing was in the back of a milk carton. Right? Stormy B Man says D style to make an uppercut effective. Joshua needs to jab high on Ruiz's forehead and bring his head down. Well, there you go. Right? So we will see how that goes. As for Andy Ruiz, I mean, even though he won Ashley, there's still things I feel he could do better.
Yeah.
Because he was getting hit a lot.
Right.
Like sometimes Joshua hit him first, and he will come back with the onslaught.
Right.
But I don't know if he should keep gambling like that because he did get knocked down. And that punch was just a little, like if it landed like a little more on the sweet spot, he might go to sleep with that hook.
Facts.
So, what do you think Andy Ruiz should do, if anything, in this fight? Different.
Good question. First of all, you want to continue doing the things that work for you. You're right. There's no need to fix something that's not broken. But since you know that the substantially taller and bigger guy would have more success using his dimensions, you would have to tell the shorter, faster guy to use his. You're more shorter and compact, get low. Make them hard to find you with that jab. Make them reach way across the ring to hit you with it. Move your damn head, weave, and weave your way on the inside, close that distance fast. And once you're inside, he can't touch you when you in close. When you're inside of his punching range, he has absolutely no way to hit you because he's uncomfortable in close. He wants distance. Joshua's not an infighter. So my advice to Ruiz would be to don't try to stand up straight with him. You know what I'm saying? And definitely don't try to jab with him when you out of your punching range. And you want to keep that head moving. Stay short. Keep that head moving, and time the jab, just like he was doing later in the fight. If when Joshua put that jab out there, as soon as he bring it back, you step in. Just like he was doing in the first fight, later in the first fight, because once he steps in, it's all Andy Ruiz game. You know what I'm saying? And we saw in the first fight that he was never able to adapt after that. You know what I'm saying? And that's another way to take the jab away from him, because every time Joshua puts the jab out there and he's not landing it, as soon as he brings it back, he got this guy in his face throwing those fast, hard shots in close. The jab is nullified now. He's gonna have to find another method of attack, and it becomes Andy Ruiz's fight unless Joshua shows that he has the ability to make adjustments. So that would be what I tell Andy Ruiz.
Definitely. All right, so we'll be talking about the Teofimo Lopez next week for sure. Listen, I'm gonna win. Charlo gonna win, Listen, Andy gonna win. There we go. And Charlo's gonna win. Now the real question is, Teofimo gonna beat Comey? I think so. I don't know, man. I got a lot to say about that, but we'll talk about that next week. All right, man. But to me, that's the fight of the week next week. By the way, that's a hell of a fight. But with this, man, Ashley, what's your official prediction here? Well, who do you think is gonna win this fight?
I have to roll with Andy Ruiz, retaining his world title. He stopped Joshua the first time. I don't think Joshua has made the mental preparations. He jumped right back into an immediate rematch. He didn't take a confidence booster in between to get himself back mentally, to let himself know, maybe that was just a fluke. I am still a champion. I'm still a champion quality fighter. He's going right back after the guy. Like I said before, he looks like he's in much better shape. But that's just half the battle. You got a mental half, and you also got the actual game plan of what you're going to actually implement in the ring. And does he have an answer for what Ruiz did to take him out of his game? And I'm not sure if he has that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure if he can make the necessary adjustments when Ruiz start timing him. Not timing him with shots, but timing him when to close the distance on him and make it a very difficult fight for him in close, where Ruiz's punching range has been established. And those fast hands, which and straight shots would get there. And Ruiz is, I'm sure he walks around at about 300. You know what I'm saying? And that motherfucker can hit. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
he's hurt, man. And I think, he's going to be groggy all over again. I think it's a possibility that we could see Anthony Joshua quit all over again.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? In Saudi Arabia.
Let me tell you something, man. If he quits again, this dude will officially be the Victor Ortiz of the heavyweight division, bro.
That's a bit much.
No, Ortiz was talented. He had power, he had everything, right?
Skills
The talent
his
was there.
problem. Yeah.
It was all here and here and
Yeah.
down there. Those three things they lacked.
Yeah, big time.
That's why most people were like, who would win, him or Brandon Rios? For years, I said, man, he would smoke Brandon Rios.
Right.
But then I saw the Josito Lopez fight. Lopez didn't win because he was more talented, bro.
Right.
He won because he was willing to go further.
Right.
So
after the fight, he was like, man, he hits hard. He hits hard. What he said about Victor Ortiz.
Yeah.
He was like, that guy hit hard, man. He hits hard. So it ain't never been skills with Victor Ortiz, man. He don't have a fighter's temperament, But, I don't want to say that about Joshua because we seen him get off the canvas.
Yeah, you're right.
In the big fight. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, here's my thing. I agree 100%, but, I know there's a but, and everybody hates buts, but I think Vladimir Klitschko, first of all, Vladimir was 2-year layoff, over 40 years old.
Yeah.
I got to be honest, bro. If Emmanuel Stewart was in Vladimir Klitschko's corner, no way he let some just take it easy on Joshua the next round. You know what I mean?
Right.
Ain't no way. His own brother was there. Why didn't you go for the kill? Like, I don't want to get tired. Like, that's what he said. So he let him off the hook a little bit, But yes, he did get up and, he was hurt in the Dillian White fight. You know what I mean? Povetkin, Povetkin was putting on him for a little bit. Povetkin could crack, And in this fight, he did get up and he took an ass whooping for a couple of rounds, but he kept going. So you're right. We can't quite say that. I'm just saying if he quits again, he's flirting with Victor Ortiz territory.
Right. Facts.
But
who you got?
Andy Ruiz all day. Okay. One word, onslaught. Okay. Look, Anthony Joshua is a very polished fighter. Okay. He's not an Olympic gold medalist by accident.
Right. Just get those away.
Yeah. But he's good with those 1-2s and stuff like that. A 1-2 and all that. But the 3, the 4, the 5, like, you know what I mean? Like when those punches keep coming, I don't know, man. I don't think Joshua, I just don't think he knows like what's happening when Ruiz puts punches and bunches. And I don't quite blame him because heavyweights don't typically fight like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like heavyweights don't fight like that, guys.
Right.
I mean, I'm not saying in history. I mean, right now, we had guys that had volume, like Joe Frazier, for example. You know what I mean? But I'll tell you what, though, Andy Ruiz is that dude that, how everybody says, like, how these heavyweights in the 70s going to fight these big dudes, and Andy Ruiz is doing it. You know what I mean? So all I'll say is I think he's gonna cut distance. I think Joshua's gonna look good, for about 2-3 rounds, utilizing his jab. But at some point, Ruiz is gonna get on the inside, all right, and he's gonna land to that long torso of Joshua, and then he's gonna follow up upstairs. People forget about the body shots. The body shots were vicious.
Right.
Okay. There's an interview with Manny Robles saying everyone overlooked, like he believes the body shots is what did Joshua. He thinks that's what did Joshua. It's more so than the headshots. I think it was a combination of both, obviously, but
right.
Joshua can't guard both at once, bro. He has to pick. head or body. And whatever he picks, he has to find a way to counter and make and be first. And like AJ 10, be last. I don't think he can do it.
He shot his load too in the first fight when he had Ruiz hurt. He really
Yeah.
tried to get him out of there. So I don't know if he ever really got that second win like he really needed it.
But you don't think that can mess with you mentally? Because that's the reason Vladimir let him off the hook. He was scared of getting tired.
Yeah.
Like he didn't want to shoot his load. You know what I mean? So it's what if he hurts at Ruiz and he doesn't go for the kill? Can he afford to let Ruiz recover, or does he go for the kill?
I mean, I don't think you should just throw a barrage of punches hoping that the referee will just step in and stop it unless Ruiz ass is on Queer Street like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
But if you put him down, that don't mean he hurt. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean he hurt real bad. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got to learn from the first time because he hit him with a pretty solid shot the first time. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think it's in his benefit to underestimate the recuperating abilities of the short Mexican fighter, bro. If you want to knock out a Mexican fighter and you don't have one punch power, there's only one way you're gonna do it, and you gotta beat the shit out of
his
him. You gotta beat the shit out of him. So if you don't have the conditioning, it's gonna be a long night, man. Pack a lunch.
Give his will no choice. You know what I mean? Like, he's got the will to continue. I ain't gonna give him a choice. Like, I'm gonna knock him the fuck out. Okay,
Right.
I'm gonna make sure he don't get up. Boxing conversation, Reggie Owens, very interesting. He picked Ruiz to win the first fight, but he's got Joshua winning the rematch.
That's not too bad. I mean,
It's bad. Huh?
it's not. Outcomes aren't predetermined. You know what I'm saying? Anything can happen. The ring sorts out the facts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he's in better shape. So we'll see if he can execute for 12 rounds without getting hurt. That is, to me, that's the biggest thing in the entire fight. Not can he win rounds because he was winning last time. Can he sustain? You know what I'm saying? A game plan for 12 rounds. And if he cannot, AJ has yet to show that he can make adjustments.
Yep.
Can you adjust? Can you adapt to what Ruiz is doing?
Well, that is true, man.
And they're fighting in Saudi Arabia, man. Neither one of them have fought there. You don't know how the shit's gonna feel. 130 degrees in the daytime. I don't know what it's like at night, but it is December, so I don't know. I know it don't snow over there. I have no idea what it feels like.
Yeah. Well, and it's a desert, so I'm assuming like at that time, since sand gives away heat, it doesn't absorb heat like dirt does. It's mainly sand over there. It'll probably be cold, So it might be pretty good weather for a boxing fight. Who knows? Like, I don't know how the humidity is, though, because I don't care how cool it is. Humidity is a motherfucker, okay?
Yeah.
Like, you're in Houston. You know all about that.
Facts. Yeah.
Like, it's only 80. Yeah.
You have no idea.
I'd rather be 100 in El Paso. Dry heat. Any day. All right, but what are your thoughts on it being in Saudi Arabia, by the way, the fight?
Man, I think at this point, anybody who's been talking down on Eddie Hearn need to give him his card because this thing is happening. This is happening. It's happening this week, this weekend, this big fight, this heavyweight championship fight, what we all said could not be possible, taking place in Saudi Arabia. You know what I'm saying? Given the culture there, you know what I'm saying? Women can't do X amount of things, and you got to watch how you dress, watch what you say, watch what you eat. They don't eat pork and stuff like that. It's a culture shock, And then you got it's not really an atmosphere for anybody who's of the LGBT community. There is no LGBT rights and shit like that. Your ass is getting slaughtered. So anybody who's of that community, I'm not saying anything against you, obviously, but going over there, you don't have to watch how you move. You can protest all you want to. There's no government that's gonna come save you. Your ass belong to them. But at the end of the day, the fight is taking place. He pulled it off. So all the guys got to do is go in the ring and walk it out and get that bread and put on a good performance for the boxing fans.
Jupiter B says, contrary to popular
But
opinion,
the most active promoter.
yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's been the most active promoter this year.
Yeah.
I got to give him his card, man. He done a lot of fucked up shit like with Dillian White and the drug testing, but since then he's been doing his thing, man. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Jupiter says, contrary to popular opinion, I think Josh is trying to go 12 rounds, favors Ruiz more. The more rounds, the more opportunities Ruiz has to get on the inside. Joshua tires. He's always had that issue, right? Like in the middle rounds, he kind of takes those rounds off. I've always felt that was an issue
Yeah.
for AJ, and it came back to bite him in the ass the last fight. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, I got no energy. This guy's still coming at me. I don't got time for a second win. And so that was something. Shout out to a haplotype in the house. Speaking of, right?
Yeah.
And yes, guys, Reggie picked him. I will say, though, one thing. If Joshua lands the uppercut clean, like, it's a game changer in this fight. And I'm telling you guys right now, he'll drop Ruiz on all fours if he lands that uppercut. That uppercut is one of the most vicious uppercuts in boxing. Like or hate Joshua, that thing's something, right? So that's his money punch if he finds that uppercut on Ruiz. But we will see how that goes. I still got Ruiz winning though. That's that. However, not in Saudi Arabia, in the States. Jermall Charlo will be facing Dennis Hogan Ashe. What are your thoughts on this fight? I know Dennis Hogan, had that controversial fight with or decision fight, majority decision of Munguia. Some thought he won that fight. The fight was in Mexico, and it was a majority decision. I think that tells you almost everything you need to know. I think he's going to sleep, but what do you think?
Well, tell us how you really feel, DStyle.
Get the pillow ready.
I think so too, man. I think Jermall is looking to put on a performance because most felt he should have dominated. What's his name? Brian Adams, the last time he fought, and that was in Houston. And I think he wants to show everybody that he's still a force. And when he start putting them paws on you, it's sleep time. And the opportunities may not just be there. He may have to create them. Because Hogan, if you look at the Munguia fight, he wasn't just going straight forward, throwing punches. He was moving a lot. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't necessarily going behind no jab, but he was beating Munguia to the punch. And if he had some power, he possibly could have stopped Munguia because he almost dropped him in round 11. So he may not have got the victory against Munguia, but he did manage to get himself a title fight against one of the middleweight champions. And if he can put on a stern test, provide a stern test for Jermall, you never know where that can lead for him in the future. However, I just don't see it because Jermall does not fight. He's not looking to brawl with nobody. He's going to get that jab going and set you up for a big right hand. And if he lands it good enough the first few times, it can be good night Irene, man. And plus, Jermall is saturated at middleweight right now. He's looking huge, man. And the killing thing about it is when he fought Korobov, I thought he looked pretty damn big. But now, just watch how he looks on fight night against this Hogan guy. But what it really boils down to, this particular fight, is the fact that Jermall just don't have nobody to fight, man. Because I'm a stickler for the PBC model, but they have no middleweights. And if he wins, and he'll end up fighting the winner of Eubank and Korobov on the undercard, which would be good, especially if Eubank wins. A Eubank versus Jermall Charlo fight, I love to see that fight. But outside of that potential matchup, man, the big fights for him are with the zone or against the zone guys. And it's a shame, man, but that's where we're at right now in the sport of boxing, the middleweight division.
Yeah, Jupiter B says Adams is 90% defensive, hard to KO somebody like that.
Right.
He can't fight though. Like there was times to me, I think he gave Jermall some problems in that
Mm-hmm.
fight.
Yep.
I'm not saying like major problems, but he made him work. You know,
Yeah.
he made him work, and he didn't let him just set up that one big punch.
Right.
He's like, I'm gonna make you work. I'm not gonna. And if you noticed, very athletic. Adams.
Yeah.
And moved around a lot. Just doesn't let you set your feet. You got to set those feet to knock a dude out. You know what I mean? And yes,
Yeah.
of course, he was like, I'd be defensive too if I was fighting Charlo.
Right. Okay. He had a good overhand. A good overhand was fine in Charlo too.
Yeah, definitely. But I think he should get back on that KO column. No offense to Dennis Hogan. I just think he's open to get hit. And he looked pretty good against Munguia, but I'm not that impressed with Munguia, man. Like I know people say he's young and this, that, but like I remember when Fernando Vargas was just young, but I knew he was a goods. Like I remember Canelo was young, but I knew the dude was a goods.
Right, right.
I criticized the shit out of him, but I knew he was a goods. A lot of dudes are young, like Stevens, Shakur Stevenson's young,
right?
But he's the goods. You can tell. Yeah. So Munguia, I mean,
no excuse for him, huh?
No. I mean, Munguia's never going to be that dude, bro. He could be an action-packed fighter. He could be like, maybe a little better, but like a Gotti of his era. You know what I mean? Like, give us some good fights, give us some wars, and get your checks and get out of, leave the sport with making a lot of money.
Yeah, Gotti did have some good fights. Some good fights.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was a world champion in two weights, and I mean, he was no world beater by any stretch of the imagination, but he's not. He wasn't just a human punching bag like Mayweather uncle call him. If you man, he hit some guys with some shots, man, and he had some pretty good knockouts. I'm not talking about the Joey Gamaji fight because that was a fucking farce.
Yeah,
but, he beat some former world champions too. So
that's a fight where he outweighed him by a lot, right?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah,
that's the one.
Yeah,
Otto Wallen's trainer.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I forgot about that. That was Otto Wallen's trainer. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, there you go, man. I got Jermall Charlo winning by I'd say about late stoppage. I would say like something like a 9th round stoppage. How do you see it?
Before 5.
Before 5, okay.
Yeah, I think the jab is going to frustrate him and have him, stand him up a lot. You're going to get hit with the jab and get stood up. And on one of those jabs, that right is going to come behind it, and we may see a little dance. So, But you never know, man. You never know what's in a man's heart, man. If he comes to fight, we could possibly get an entertaining scrap. You just never know, man.
Jupiter says Hogan was putting paws on Munguia.
Okay, so was. Almost dropped him around 11.
Charlo will win easy, says AJ10. 92 AKU says Hogan is a 154-pounder too. Well, not anymore.
Yeah, right.
Dudes move up at some point. We had a question from Gregory here really quick to head the show. Kind of tied into the Ruiz Joshua fight, even though the fight's not, first of all, the fight's not in England. Second, it's a Puerto Rican ref. I don't know if you heard about the ref, actually. He's a Puerto Rican ref. Who's that?
Is it Joe Cortez?
No.
Oh, okay.
What was his name again, AJ10? Can you put in that dude? No one has heard of the dude. Okay, but
Eddie Hearn. There we go.
But tied to that, there's always been a perception, right? And maybe some could argue somewhat of a reality in certain circumstances, but that UK refs been notorious to end fights early, right? Do you think that's fair, or do you think that's you know just a
Oh,
perception?
it's fair, but it ain't necessarily just UK, man. It's Europe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's Europe because some referees that officiated fights in Germany have ended fights early. I don't know if you remember Darius Michael Shevsky. He used to be a champion at 175 pounds, like right before Roy Jones came
Okay.
into the division and won all those belts.
Yep.
Yeah, some of his fights in super early, and to me, it didn't even look like the guy was hurt. So I've seen some strange shit just in Europe. I ain't really. Well, hold on, yeah. I'm sorry because I was thinking Germany is in the UK.
See, Europe.
Germany is not in. It's in Europe. Yeah,
Yeah.
our geography is all fucked up, but I try
Yeah,
to
but
say that all the time.
it is in Europe. I mean,
Yeah, but it's not in the UK.
yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so it's a Europe thing.
Yeah.
But they're getting better.
Yeah, because now, man, they're under the microscope, bro. Like the whole world's watching. They put on these
Right.
apps like the Zone. There's people all over the world watching it. More than ever. I mean, we don't even realize it, but we're kind of spoiled now with these fights.
Hmm.
Like, dude, there was a day where, like, if I look at my grandfather's day, he had to keep up like with the newspapers, and the Ring magazine, like a couple
Radio.
weeks later,
Yeah.
to look at the ratings, bro. Right now, any day of the week, you could look up any ratings you want, and there's an oversaturation now in the market, but you could look all this stuff up. But um, now, you don't need reporters to report on the newspaper that it looked to me like that fight ended earlier. We could watch them now. You know what I mean? We could actually see these fights.
Right.
So that has to play a role now. You know what I mean? More
Yeah.
than
Our dependence on the so-called pundits and reporters are it's almost a non-factor now. You know what I'm saying? They're almost obsolete.
yeah,
Um,
I
you
agree.
know, before when you would read the magazines because there wasn't fights all over the place, and uh, you had to you had to view the fights from the writer's perspective,
Yeah,
and that's not accounting for bias by that particular or those particular writers because you didn't see the fight for yourself, so all you had to go on was what the writer thought. And that's probably why we have a tendency to overrate throwback fighters. You know,
yeah.
so 'cause we didn't see a lot of their fights, and we're going by what the writer said and what the so-called experts of that time said. But if the experts of that time are anything like the so-called experts of this time,
Yeah.
experts from the old time were full of shit too.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that, but my only thing is that just in general, dude, like, media is just not the same anymore, you know,
Mhm.
and
Everybody's a reporter now, so
yeah, everyone's a reporter now, and back then, I mean, were they perfect? Absolutely not. But I'll tell you what, though, these were top of the line reporters covering the sport. It wasn't just like Howard Cosell, was covering boxing on TV. You know what I mean?
right.
Like that was just a different type of reporter than HBO.
A lot of these new
Yeah,
reporters have no history whatsoever. Like they couldn't tell you who Kostrazu lost against at 140 before he went on to win a world title
without
or
looking
whatever.
at
I'm
boxing.
just
Yeah,
throwing without looking at box rec, on the spot,
yeah, yeah.
or whatever.
Like back in the day, man, if you were the head writer of sports, for the New York Times, and you got to cover the heavyweight championship of the world, that was the big job. Now a lot of these dudes, if we keep it real, man, like they just started watching about like Mannix. That dude was a
Oh,
basketball writer, bro.
right.
And then they kind of just told him, man, you want to write about boxing too? We don't have a boxing writer. They don't want to pay a boxing writer. So, you know, But that's that,
Now
man.
he's an expert.
Yeah. And now Mannix is an expert, apparently.
Yeah, exactly.
They're using him to score fights on his own. You know. But yeah, like the like AJ10 said, the word journalism means something different in 2019 and 1989. You know.
Right.
Okay, but and then there was also no conflicts of interest, actually. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like Golden Boy owning the ring, I'm sorry, is a
Right.
conflict of interest. Like,
That is absolutely correct. I was against it the moment he bought it. So
and it changed everything. And that's why like it's all changed. That's why like I don't like it when like guys like Dan Raphael, tell some media members that they're fanboys and stuff like that. Like,
right.
just you're a fanboy to a certain degree too, bro.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Like we're talking about how great Bob Arum is, and you never call him out for some of the racist shit he said. Just saying, right? You're a fanboy,
Right.
So just saying,
He's
you
a
know.
Lomachenko fanboy too.
Yeah, those racist emails from Golden Boy, dude. In 1989, it would have been a big deal. I'm sorry,
Right.
they would have put it would have mattered, Now,
Not so much.
yeah.
With the broom, let me sweep it under the rug.
And you guys have tuned into a Puncher's Chance with Ashy Knuckles every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. I apologize for the delay at the start of the show. My computer was starting up. All right. Shit happens. Right. Check out yesterday's show, Aftermath. It was fire. Okay. With Stormy B Man, G Funk, and Reggie. Tomorrow, Mexican Latino. Wednesday with G Funk, and Boxing Conversations on Thursday with Reggie Owens. I mean, with who else, right? The celebrity up on this YouTube shit. But
Red Joe, he gonna have to hit me, man. We gotta. I keep forgetting to get at him.
for
So I
sure,
need
bro.
to.
It's up to you, but I can shoot you his number and stuff. But we'll talk about that off the scene.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, no problem. All right, and the only thing that dude's like a night owl, and I think you're like an early bird, so it's kind of like, but you'll figure it
Yeah,
out.
my day start. But if he a night owl, that's even better.
Yeah, for sure.
That's even better because the fights and shit.
It's just hit me up. I'll text you his number after the show for sure. And there he goes.
Yeah.
Dude's in Vegas, bro.
Yeah,
He's in Las Vegas.
Tomorrow or probably what's today? Yeah, probably tomorrow. Hit you up, bro. Chop it up.
Ken John says, great show. Absolutely. I want to thank all the Raiders that are always here. And make sure you throw a jab at the like button. And look at that. 31. We hit the goal. Good job. Okay, we utilize the jab. This is DStyleBoxing. Keep it boxing. We're out. Peace.